All right. So next question we have that we got is, do you feel like at this point in your career that you no longer have imposter syndrome?
Oh, gosh. And that's such a good question because I feel like that is something, and I don't know. Okay. Did you feel like you had imposter syndrome when you got out of school? And I guess I should say first, do you even know what that is, Jonathan?
Please. No, it's a very common thing also in the like creative world. And so feeling like that. But to answer your question, not really after getting out of college, because I was already running like a business in college. And so, but I feel like anytime you would step up and like, you know, your clientele that you'd be working with, you'd be like, do we really belong here? You know? So like going to like big time meetings where you gotta look all fancy and stuff, and you're like, what am I doing? So
if they only knew what was underneath this suit,
I know.
like all the nerves and yeah. Cause I always wondered that, because I feel like, you know, I didn't have a name for it at the time, but I did definitely feel it and feel like, and really, because I started in medical. And so I think it's really rampant there because everybody's trying to seem like, oh, I've got all the answers and I know it. And I feel like it's, in my experience, it was harder in that setting to say, I don't know, but let me get back to you. Because I felt like your patients and other professionals wanted to know the answers right then, right there. And you're the expert. And if you don't know it, then what are you doing here? And so I felt that for sure in the beginning of my career. And I wish that I had had a name for it and understood that most people felt that way in some capacity and what it really meant. And so that's what I always try to explain to new grads and whatnot now is like, it's totally normal. You're going to feel that way. But it's almost like I wish that somebody had told me, just own it and say, I don't know the answer to this and I'm going to find out, because I feel like, you know, looking back, what I know now, that there's nothing wrong with that. And in fact, oftentimes people are going to have more respect for you if you do that than if you're like, well, let's just try this. And I know what I'm doing, but I really don't. And so, but I do feel like now, when I'm working with the population, I still see some babies coming out of the NICU, and I definitely have a very good sense about what I know and what I don't know. But what I do know, I feel really strong about because I've just done it over and over and over. And it's also, I have to remind myself that there was a point where I didn't know it and now I do know it. So then it kind of erases that imposter syndrome. But I've also learned too, I don't feel like there's any shame or negative feelings if I'm like, you know what, I don't know the answer, or I'm not an expert in that. Let me find out somebody who is, because I think, again, I really wish that I would have known that. And then in my position now, just too, within the company I work with, you know, there's times where I feel like, oh, I don't know if that's right or not. But again, I've just learned to like own it and be like, I don't know if this is right or not, but we're going to try it and see. And, you know, I come up with all kinds of kooky ideas, Jonathan. And so.
Oh, I know firsthand about that. So.
But I'm good at saying like, okay, this may be a garbage idea, but I'm just going to say it. And I feel like.
Getting the message, I have an idea is always makes my palms sweat, you know?
No, this is what it is. I was thinking. Oh, yeah. And then you're like, oh, what's next? So I was thinking, oh.